Hi everyone, it's Glenn back again, and I'm going to do a video right now about ghosts and what are they? Are they real? What's going on with it? I'm going to give you 3 of my own encounters before I go into what they are. Okay, so the first one happened in university. They all happen around the university time. And what happened, I was on the top floor in our residence building, and my room was right next to the bathroom. So it was around, I was with a friend. We had been talking and probably playing guitar and stuff, and he left. And I went to the bathroom, and the bathroom was a white tile wall bathroom, very bright. So I went in there, I came out of the stall, and I'm washing my hands. And as I'm washing my hands, I noticed something in the mirror. So I stop washing my hands and I look up in the mirror, and right on the back of the wall is a black shadow. And it's almost humanoid, and it's totally black, and it's moving around the wall. So at this point I've stopped washing my hands, and I'm just staring at this thing moving around the back wall. Totally black shadow. And I bolt out of there. So I ran out. A follow-up to that one is that across the hall from me, there was a girl who was an atheist. Now, at this time I believed in God, but I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus, which is what you need, to be saved. You need to know Jesus. So one night we were talking, there was a few of us around, and I told them what happened. I said, what happened in the bathroom? I wash my hands, I look up, and there's a black shadow moving across the back wall. And she basically said, be quiet. And they didn't want to hear anything about it because they had seen the same thing too. So that was interesting that other people saw the same shadow. It was a very old building. It was built in 1878. And I think people that were in that building had done, the Ouija boards and that kind of thing. So that was the first one. The next one was I was staying in, I had a friend on a certain floor, and I can't remember the details of how I ended up in a room on that floor, but I was sleeping alone in someone else's room. I guess I didn't want to go back to my residence or what have you. So with this one, I'm alone in the room and, trying to go to sleep, and the bed starts shaking, and I'm not moving in the bed, and the bed is just shaking. And anyway, that one freaked me out. And the third one is very interesting. So this one, my friend who was, visiting on the floor, we were close friends. And anyway, he invited me over for New Year's, and he lived in kind of in the country. There's some houses around, but not many. and it's a very small community. And so it was just after Christmas. Christmas tree was still up. He lived in a smaller house, and we were playing cards for the night. And previously to that, I'd learned that someone had the previous owner. He didn't know the exact timing of it, but the previous owner, someone there had killed themselves in the kitchen. So with this house, there's the front door. You walk in, there's a little corridor there, but you walk in right to the kitchen. And then from the kitchen, you walk into the living room. And then from the living room, there's a stairway to your right, and there was his bedroom straight ahead. So there's a couple of us staying there, and it was time for bed, and so I'm in the living room, just off of the kitchen. So front door, corridor, kitchen, living room, and there's no door separating the living room from the kitchen. So I'm sleeping on the couch, and all of a sudden, I think that I hear a kitchen chair move. And there's no one in the kitchen because I'm not totally asleep yet. And the kitchen's only small. There's no one in there. Everyone else has gone to bed. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm sure it's nothing. And anyway, it happened again. And now I'm starting to get a little freaked out. And it was kind of louder. And now I'm really starting to get freaked out. And then it happened again. That was it. And it was clear that furniture was moving in the kitchen. You could hear, how wood furniture kind of, moves across the floor. That's the sound that it was making. So I immediately get up. My friend is in his bedroom with his girlfriend, and I knock on the door, and I'm like, "Can I sleep on your floor? I'm freaked out. Like, I'm hearing sounds in the kitchen." He's like, yeah, sure. So I sleep. I go on the floor, but I am terrified. On top of that, I was freaked out going to the country anyway because I was reading a book by Bud Hopkins called Intruders. And, I was into all that kind of stuff, the whole alien thing and the ghosts, and I believed in both. And anyway, so I'm totally freaked out on the floor. They fall back asleep, and I can hear him snoring. He's out, and he's snoring. His girlfriend's asleep. I'm on the floor there, scared to death, and terrified. And all of a sudden, I kid you not, he stops snoring. So, snoring away, all of a sudden it stops. And he says, "It's all right. It's okay. You still have more in your life left to do." And as soon as he was saying that, this calm just came over me. And I've never felt anything like it before or since. And it was this calm that completely enveloped me. And it was the most peaceful, and it was euphoric, and I'd love to feel that again, because it was amazing. It just came over me, and I fell asleep. So I fell immediately asleep. So, what are ghosts? Let's get to it. What are ghosts? So when I first started, after the whole finding out that aliens were demons, around that same time, it's like God downloaded information to me. Like, I knew more than what I should have, but He gave me the information. And ghosts are demons. Ghosts are the same demons that are pretending to be aliens. Same ones. So, when someone dies, they either go to heaven or they go to hell. They don't linger on earth. And so, excuse me just for a moment. So, is it real? Yes. Just like people seeing aliens, which are demons, they can really be seen. And they do have the ability to turn physical as well. So, it's not a question, is it going on? It's a question of, what is it? And aliens are actually demons pretending to be from outer space, so that you think we're on this ball floating around in space. Our life is meaningless. There is no God. They created us, and the Space Brothers are coming back. So that's one lie from them. But ghosts are demons, and same goal. Satan has the same goal for all of it. And the goal is to keep you away from Jesus Christ so that you will be saved. So by keeping you away, he is dragging people to hell every day who haven't chose Jesus. So, it just takes one snare to get someone, away from Jesus. And he sets up all kinds. And I've said this before, that, there's lots of tools in Satan's shed. And the tool he may try to use for you is not the same one that he may use for me. But it's all the same goal. It's to keep you away from Jesus. So how do ghosts keep you away from Jesus? Well, if you've researched the whole ghost phenomenon, and like I say, I spent years believing in this, and with the ghosts, for the most part, people think that they're people that have died. They're lingering. They have unfinished business. They, haven't gone into the light. And no. When someone dies, they either go to heaven or they go to hell. And that's whether they've chose Jesus during their lifetime or they haven't. So there's no lingering. So what these demons do is they're trying to have you question the whole thing. That, when you die, you can linger around, and I guess the Bible's not true. But the Bible is true. And it's the whole the whole lingering. And the thing is with demons is these are ancient beings. So with demons, say you were really close to your grandmother and you know your grandmother, you spent like most of your life and she's died, and you know her mannerisms, that kind of thing, little quirks, you know what she looks like, you know how she walks. So the demons were there the whole time, you know, and not to freak anyone out, but there's demons assigned to everyone, and they watch. And they are experts at mimicking people. And they think we're so dumb, and for the most part we are. They think humanity is just stupid. But they mimic behavior, and they can do it identical to that person. You know? So when you're walking down the hall and you get a glimpse of your grandmother who is going into a room or something like that, that's not your grandmother. Your grandmother is either in heaven or in hell. Whether she chose Jesus during her life or she didn't. So it's to muddy the waters, to keep you confused. If one lie doesn't get you, well, this one will. The goal is all the same. It's just to, when you take your last breath, to make sure that you go to hell where they are going. So don't fall for it. I was into all this stuff, like all of it. I used to watch all kinds of paranormal shows, and it really, I find it really frustrating now when, you know, because I'll still see some, you know, mysterious videos or something like that, and the person, you know, the people believe that they're ghosts, and it's like, when you're wide awake to it, you know that they're not. All they're doing is lying to the people watching it, you know? So when you die, you go to heaven or hell immediately, and it's whether or not you have Jesus. So call on Jesus right now if you don't have him already. Today is the day of your salvation. Ask him to forgive your sins. Confess that you're a sinner. He paid for our sins with his blood. He died. He was buried. He rose again on the third day, according to the scriptures. Then he went into heaven, and he's coming back very soon. So just make sure that you have Jesus. Aliens or demons, ghosts are the exact same beings pretending to be your departed loved one. Take care. God bless you. Bye-bye.